destiny arrives all the same.
And as this room fill up, be sure, and I mean just that, be sure to hit that like button, share this content, let that friend, that neighbor know where to go when it's time to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. The ice wall, too, by the way. And as this room fill up, sharing is caring. Let me know if you share. Come on with it. Yo. Ain't no party like the Cowboy party. What about a Law Nation's groove?
Smoke weed every day.
Come on with it. Mama said there'll be days, literally, just like this.
On the real, me and your mama getting real serious. So it look like I'm gonna be around here for a while. I ain't trying to be your daddy, but if you need some advice, feel free to talk to me.
Come on with it, baby.
It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it.
4, 3. Sharing is caring. Happy Sunday to you. You. And what we tell them too, baby. Come on. Long. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Let me know if the audio is straight. The longest intro in the building, baby. Come on with it. Appreciate everybody. Now, even though I'm a little late on this, I just want to be able to let people know that we might have dodged a bullet, and we're not rejoicing. We're not rejoicing at this, but we just want to bring in some light to this. And granted, just a couple of days ago, we had a guy that had a little God's lettuce, right, and a gun with some bullets in it, and he was going 96 to 97 miles per hour. Now, this right here, this storyline right here is a little bit more egregious, if you guys can agree, right? Let me see if I can pull this up. And I appreciate everybody for being part of these conversations. And as the room fill up, let you guys know that this is life too. And any given Sunday or Saturday or Monday or any day of the week, we can get some of this stuff on our side, right? But I got to cover every blade of grass. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to you, Marcus. I see you, JV boy in the building. Shout out to you, Bets. Thank everybody. And around this time next week, we will be in the beautiful state of California. We can say that that's home number 2 for us, especially Cowboy fans. There's an argument that if the Cowboys pick up and move to Cali, it'll still be the same. It'll still be the same technically. And I'm not beating up the DFW, right? I'm not beating up Arlington. I'm not beating up the fans that's here in Dallas. But technically, when you go out there to the west side, shoot, our fans there are a little bit more rowdy. We're not sitting in the chairs, sipping on some wine and eating crackers and cheese. Cheese and crackers over there. Over there they're gonna be crunk, lit. They be talking noise, and they be running their mouth. But in Dallas, it's more quaint of an experience. But that's a whole nother conversation. All right. So when we talk about this, and I'm not blowing this up because he's one of my Mississippi boys. Quinshon Judkins has been arrested for battery and domestic violence charges in Florida. And Judkins was officially arrested on a touch or strike / battery domestic violence, according to Broward County. Now, granted, this is some awful news. This is some crazy news because a third of us, or most of us, had the Cowboys, if they didn't get a running back in the first round, they for damn sure going to get a running back in the second, right? So the first round went by, we were like, hey, what's going on? The second round went by, we were like, hey, what the Cowboys are doing? And the third round went by, we were like, hey, come on now, you killing me. What y'all trying to do? And then we everybody crying. Yeah, hush your mouth over there. When we gonna get a running back, Law? Yeah. So allegedly, none of this stuff has been concrete. We don't know the full scoop of the storyline, but it's everywhere. My guy Jay Tuck, he's crazy as cat hair. He says, if the Browns, there's no way I would keep Judkins on my roster. I would cut him and send a message to this type of behavior. We got zero tolerance now. Now, granted, Ezekiel Elijah Elliott went to the Ohio State. This kid here, Quinshon Judkins, he went to the Ohio State, right? Now, one person was suspended for 6 games. I'm going to my grave, right, with this notion that the NFL sullied us and denigrated us because we were 9-7 that year. And you can't argue, you can't say that, hey, Zeke is not a +4 or 5 win, in that particular season. So most people say, hey, man, stop snitching on the NFL and all this stuff. Look, turn the other cheek and all of this stuff. No. No. I do not adopt the ideology of turn the other cheek. No, I do not adopt that ideology. I'm with the belief that I want an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. That's just me, man. All of that, hey, man, turn the other cheek. Well, sure, you said the grand creator, you said he will forgive you 7 times 7, so let me get my retaliations on, and then I ask the grand creator, hey, Lord, please, I pray, so Father, please forgive me. Police be rushing when they see me. I flaunted America's Most Wanted, live on TV like pleasure and pain. I'm stuck in this game. Holler my name. We all gonna die. We bleed through similar veins. I'm with that side of the conversation. That's just for what I am. So whenever I see somebody is arrested, charged for something, I'm with the belief an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, because when it's time for the Cowboys to get penalized and punished, we get the max penalties, we get the max punishment. So therefore, I don't give a dog if they play for Cleveland Browns, Pelican Browns, Pelican Bay. They can play for the worst of the worst. They can play for the Panthers. I want the same type of outcome now. Come on with it. Yes, indeed. Appreciate y'all so much. You telling me a team with Deshaun Watson is cutting anyone? Laughing a lot. No, they ain't cutting him. Give me Megan Good. I'm turning some cheeks. CJ. Come on, man. Boy, you crazy.
Take the money out.
You gotta take that money out now.
Come on. Wasting my time now.
Now, some of y'all out here. Now, I ain't saying she a gold digger, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, CJ, she ain't messing with her, Yeah. I'm just saying that that's just how that goes, right? Watch, he won't get suspended, but Terp will. Just watch. Not the Marcus. Now, if that happened, and that happened before, too. That happened before. But I'm just getting in front of everything, right? So I'm letting the NFL know that Law Nation is getting in front of all of this, the 3-letter, the 4-letter network, for all of those topic lines that they had, about Cavante Turpin. And they swept the other stuff up under the rug with the other guy. I forgot his name, Ward or what have you, from the Texans. But come on with it. We dodged the bullet. Now, Donovan Ezaraku is who we drafted in the second round, right? And I just think the world of what he's going to be able to do here in this particular system. Let me just make sure I cover everything before we switch top subject matters here. But according to information that has been presented here, he's facing charges. He's 5'11", 225, and this is Quinshon Judkins. And we hope that all is well on both sides. We were not there, right? But the minimum suspension should be 6 games. The minimum. Yeah. 6 games should be the minimum suspension. That's just how it is. Unfortunately, Mississippi, my Mississippi boy, the minimum suspension should be 6 games, and a scrutiny of this and that with the 3-letter, 4-letter network. We should have Molly on the stage crying, yeah, domestic, I'm a survivor. We need to have all of the same energy because they were crying and everything. And even though he had false witnesses and all of this stuff, and reports came back that he was 100% innocent, and the text message thread was showing that Ezekiel Elliott, accuser, also said that I'm going to set you up with the police. They're going to believe me over you and all of this stuff. Yeah. Jalen Parker says, what part of Mississippi I'm from? I'm a 601 boy, NTZ, Adams County, baby. Linwood, off of Linwood, baby. I give you the full address. He didn't kill anyone or sell drugs. Yeah. Browns about, dirty with that money. Yeah, they are. They are. But in other news about the Dallas Cowboys switching it over to us now, there's some video of my guy is working in. There are a ton of Cowboy content creators, shout out to them, as well as fans that feel as if though he is not making proper recovery. He still looks stiff. He still looks lethargic. And that name is Trevon Diggs. Now, I'm not saying that he should be ready week 1, as I lamented in my video. But what I'm getting at is that he looks more or far ahead this season opposed to last season going through his recovery. Now, granted, the Dallas Cowboys, we have holes, not 304s, but we have holes on this team. And what I'm getting at is that we have a hole at defensive tackle, not 3 tech, but in my mind, 1 tech, right? And we have a reservation hole at secondary. We know Bland, when healthy, oh, my goodness, he's phenomenal, right? The unknown is the other side. Kyer Elam, yes, he's working out good, but, hey, where the pads at, right? And we hearing storylines that, maybe Kalen Carsons can turn the corner and be better and these sorts of things. But what I'm getting at collectively is that I still don't want to rush Trevon Diggs. And then, of course, we have reservations on Shavon Revel, because Shavon, he's coming from an ACL deal. I know we call ourselves the ACL boys and these sorts of things. But what I'm ultimately getting at is that anytime you're looking at a cornerback, their number one job is to really be a disruptor, right? To stop passing, you know what I'm saying, when you're trying to throw the ball their way. And if Trevon Diggs, his natural instincts, still, he's a playmaker. He's a ball hawk. He is not the tackler, but he is a guy that's going to sit and ride on your hip, and he's going to play in phase. And when I'm looking at his in breaking and on an out, and even though this is just a drill here, I looking at this COD is still there. The hips is where you want to have it a little bit more oily at, and he is breaking to the point. I do like that out of these clips here, and it's the same play, and you can see that there's no restrictions on his legs, his lower body extremities. He is moving, to me, fluid enough. Now, is this ready for week 1? No, but this is the telltale sign that he is gaining and he is trusting himself, and he's in a better situation than what he was 3 weeks ago, 3 months ago, and as well as you can argue 9 months ago. So this is what I like. CJ, the original, says Diggs go be good week 5 or 7. Let's let him heal and he get his motion solidified. Yeah. And I think that will be the best way, in my opinion. I think that with Diggs overall, Diggs' skill set is very much so needed. Very much so needed. The Cowboys, if they go into this offseason with what we have, week 1, week 2, like first week of training camp, I'm okay. But if it's week 2 and the pads are on and we're going up against the Rams, which will I think is going to be the 5th or the 6th of August, right? We're going up against the Rams. They coming into town. They're going to put the pads on. And if Puka Nacua and Tutu Atwell, if he's still there, and all of them names, Devontae Adams and all of them, if they are lighting us up and burning us up, pick up the phone. Pick up the phone and bring in a veteran. Now, I'm still banging the table for Stephon Gilmore. The only reason being, and I get the people that will say, hey, he's going to take away valuable reps from a Chavon Revel. He's going to take away valuable understanding and reps from Josh Butler. Shout out to him. He's going to take away some of the things that we may need. So what? What are we trying to do? Are we the developmental boys or are we the Cowboys? I'm trying to win now. And I think that's a third of a piece of the problems too, is that we hold on to what we have. And then they get into this contract year, either they play extremely well or kind of like in between, and then we get rid of what we so secretly invested in, and we don't get anything back in return. For an example, Cheeto Awuzie. Was he on that team? Went all the way to the Super Bowl and everything. That was our product. We developed Cheeto Awuzie, back in that time frame or what have you. So that's what I'm getting at. We just need to go and get that. The Rams game will be tough. It will be tough, and it should be. It should be a situation. All right, my guy does a great job of recapping everything. But before I go a little bit further, let's listen to this real quick.
I wouldn't read.
Clearly, they didn't want it.
I wouldn't read too deep into Javonte Williams starting right now, because I think one thing Schottenheimer will do, at least initially with these running backs, is kind of do a seniority thing. He's like, hey, you've had success, Javonte Williams, in this league. Jayden Blue, you're a 5th-round pick. Phil Moffitt, you're a 7th-round pick. We like you guys a lot, but you're gonna have to earn some things too. Like, I think the reason Tyler Booker can come in and start day one, he's a 1st-round pick. And 2, he's a guy that started everywhere, and they think that he's an instant impact starter over the guys that they have, over guys that, frankly, have had experience but haven't, done a whole lot in this league. I think what Brock Hoffman did last year was nice.
Grabbing the guys.
Yeah, it was good.
All right, so before they go into this, we're at the precipice. Boy, we're at the precipice of this right here when you look at everything. The body makeup of what the Cowboys run game, of what it could look like. And I'm not saying that this is what it looked like, since we're going to talk about this. Jahmyr Gibbs, phenomenal running back. Learned most of his cuts and skill sets and training under Tashard Choice, right? Follow along with me. We can argue that an lower tier of a Jahmyr Gibbs is a Jadon Blue, coached and trained from Tashard Choice, by the way. Similar speed, don't have the overall skill sets that Jahmyr Gibbs have, but have the speed aspect of it. We have that in the building now, right? Put that to the side. What was the other running back? Their hammer was a guy by the name of, is it David Montgomery? I forgot his first name, but it's Montgomery. If you look at this from a Javonte Williams aspect, he is similar. I'm not saying the same, but he's similar than Montgomery. To this point, D-Ship says, a poor man's Jahmyr Gibbs. Jadon Blue is a poor man's Jahmyr Gibbs, right? Now, Montgomery versus a Javonte Williams, it just depends on if you have a Javonte Williams healthy, that Javonte Williams, to a degree, is a better, and don't shank me with the butter knife. Put it down. Put that butter knife down. Don't shank me with it. Go make me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Yeah. All right. But hear me out. Javonte Williams could be a better version of a David Montgomery if healthy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all give me what I'm getting at, right? So what I'm getting at is that let's see how, and if we were to go over offensive line, like the Lions offensive line versus the Cowboys offensive line, I'm not finna do that. I'm not finna do that. I can tell you that the Lions offensive line, offensive line, they should coin it. Offensive line is nice. It is nice. It is very nice. It's very nice. The Cowboys, we try to put pieces together. It's the one of the unknown. We got a lot of holes. We only got one solid piece. One solid piece on the offensive line, and there's Tyler Smith that we know of, right? Now, Cooper, we're going to see if he can not have a sophomore rookie slump or what have you. Tyler Guyton, it's an old wait and see type of situation. We don't know. Tyler Booker, we got nothing but expectations in the bag from him. And then Terrence Steele, a lot of us got him in the reservations aspect. So he's reserved. He's a 211 type of thing. So I'm not finna go in back and forth. But what I'm getting at is that if this team fooled around and have the units to work together, it can be something similar to what we seen out of Detroit land, right? And that's all I wanted to say. You can argue with your doctor. Shout out to you, D-Shift. Yeah. Fumbling blue. Boy, I'm just saying. K-Dub, man, with a super chat of $5. Let's see what the super chat states.
KW $5. Curious question. What would you have graded the CB room if we were able to keep Jordan Lewis?
I think that people would still be looking to replace Jordan Lewis, by the way. But we'll be a whole lot comfortable with Jordan Lewis on this team. We'll be a whole lot comfortable because now you don't have to move around so much. You can literally say, okay, we know for sure Bland is going to be on the outside, Lewis inside. And it'll be still of this aspect of when Diggs is coming back, right? We just be a little bit more comfortable. It can go either way now. I mean, Lewis played phenomenal for us inside the slot there. But could we get better at that spot? Yeah. Do we have in-house capabilities to get better at that spot? Yes. But what dogged me a little bit is with Carson's. I think that we put so much on Carson's to be like Bland that Carson's gave us only one game of like real good tape, and that was against the Browns. And even when we do our due diligence and watch that Browns tape, I mean, he got ate up at the end, and we kind of like chalked that up as, okay, you know, he was a rookie. That was, what's the guy from Alabama? He's the tip of my tongue. He got him on an out route, you know. So we was like, okay, but we won that game. So when you win, you don't dissect things as much. So with Carson's, there's like Andre Booth type of faith in him, and you can't really utilize the fact that you would say, all right, can he tackle well? He didn't show me that. Is he aggressive at least? He didn't show me that. Can he jump route? So Carson's really effed this up for us, and I'm just being real with y'all. If Carson just stays solid for us, then we'll say, okay, maybe you can put him inside the slot. But we like, hell no. Cowboys, don't do us like that. Don't put him inside the slot and give teams two-way goals, because all he gave us last season was dog water, dog stuff. Now, granted, Kalen Carson's been working tremendously this offseason. But I think that if he can't get Jerry Jeudy, thank you, Ace Boogie. Yeah, Jerry Jeudy ate him up in that first game at the end. So that's why we at where we at right now. Is because of Carson's. We just don't have a good feeling. Now, we do have good feelings with Kaiir Elam, but we all been hoodwinked before. We all been bamboozled before. So we're sitting there saying, okay, yeah, y'all can give us all of the praises, beat writers. Y'all can talk about he's first one in there, last one to leave. But this is why we're going to go to Oxnard to see it ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to be like, all right, yeah, he broke that up. Yeah. But when the pads come on, I'm waiting on Elam when the pads come on, right? And then we can start giving him a little praises. But if Elam is getting burnt with Pickens and Lamb, which they should, right? And that's the crazy thing. If Elam's shutting down Pickens and Lamb, then I'm sitting there like, wait a minute. But if Elam getting burned by Pickens and Lamb, then I'm still saying like, hey, wait a minute, get him up out of there, you know? So it's a good problem to have. But at the end of the day, I think that overall, we will be more satisfied if the Cowboys do the right thing like Spike Lee and bring in a veteran DB so we'll know, you know. And I've been saying this for a long time. A new broom can sweep the floor good, but there is something about that old broom that can get those corners. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Them damn straw brooms. Yeah. You know, get them corners. And that's what we need. We need that old broom. So that's what I'm getting at. And as far as the run game.
I wouldn't read too deep in Javonte Williams or any running back kind of distribution of carries and OTAs. I think training camp is when a lot of stuff's going to be hashed out. I wouldn't sleep on the two rookies, though. I think Jaden Blue is electric, as you said. He's a wild card. I think he's a guy that could end up being kind of the total package. And I wrote about today, if you're a diehard on alldls.com, check it out. But Phil Moffitt's got some physicality to him. And he's kind of got this demeanor, I think, that works well with, you know, transitioning from college to the NFL. So I think those are two guys to watch. Miles Sanders, I think, if we're talking potential odd men out, that's the guy I just kind of have an eye on. And you said it best. There's no guaranteed money.
There's no guaranteed money on his deal. Miles got miles to improve, right? To showcase that he's worthy, right? That's unfortunately, fortunately. And if you look at how the Cowboys built the run situation, they just didn't blindly go out here and get these guys that's different. They kind of like matched them. Law, what do you mean? Like if I have to have a bracket of physicality, I'm moving Phil Moffitt in there, right? Javonte Williams is in there, right? So it's like it's a bridge game that they're playing. Like, we're going to give Javonte Williams every situation and chance to make this team. But we already know that he's the bridge for Phil Moffitt, right? All right, and we're going to give Miles, not Monroe, right? Well, no, Austin. But Miles Sanders, we're going to give him every chance and opportunity to be here, right? But he's the bridge for Jadon Blue, right? And we got that now, So those are the two. Now, not to dismiss Deuce Vaughn, but Deuce Vaughn is really on a prove-it situation. These guys don't have time to play politics, right? Now, this is what's favoring Deuce Vaughn. He got Cooper Beebe that he ran behind in college. He got Connor Riley, who coached him, who know him best, right? And he got a fresh sheet of paper. He don't have Jeff Blasco and, Lord forbid, Mike McCarthy, who was allergic to running anyway, calling plays. So he got a lot of things in favor for him. But I've seen Deuce Vaughn drop opportunities to do other things. Like, if Deuce Vaughn really, really needs to, if he really wanted to meet the expectations of making his team, he got to stop fumbling punts. Like, they tried to put him on special teams. I was there, and I will show y'all the clips. He would drop the ball every time it's punted his way. Or on a swing pass, his hands are not as official as they should be, and he drops some of the passes. So he don't have sure hands to me, right? But he's a willing blocker, and he gained a little bit more size, So we will see how he looks, not to cast aspersions on him. But these are the real things that they're going to be looking at. So out of Miles Sanders versus a Deuce Vaughn, I would say that Miles have a little bit edge or a leg up height-wise, no pun intended, he got a little bit higher heights than Deuce, at this point. But Deuce do have his daddy in the office now, somewhere daddy over there on the other field, and they better not play that game. We don't care about your feelings. We care about winning here, So don't be going back to the house in the crib and be on the phone. Daddy! Daddy! Daddy, they trying to cut me, Daddy. No, Daddy, they trying to cut me. No, don't do us like that, Deuce. No, we need for you to be out there and hungry. We need for you to be like, man, even though there's 90 people on this roster, they can only selecting 53 and only 46 out of the 53 dress up. Everybody my enemy. I need for him when he get that ball to realize that this could be my last time running it. And he need to run with that aggression. No smiling, no handshaking, no dapping and dancing. He need to be running like his britches are on fire, right? Me against the world type of mindset. And that should be his mind going into this thing. If not, then why is he here? Because Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, Jadon Blue, and Phil Maffa, them 4 running backs, and you got to have Hunter. That's 5. Right now, you can't rank Deuce ahead of any of these guys. Shout out to the 662 in the building. Shout out to all my Mississippi people. Yeah, Deuce Vaughn jumps on every pass attempts that's thrown to him. Yeah, he need to catch him. Yeah, you're right, Big Sarge. He need to catch him. Why did Deuce look so good against Washington, Law? Just curious. Here's my thoughts on that. It's the Washington. man, that defense was worse than ours, on stopping the run. I was like, put me back there, man. Let me get a few reps in. Just Washington. That's the only thing. You put a running back in against one of the worst run-stopping defenses, man, because I kid you not. Saquon Barkley averaged 15.5 yards per tote against Washington. I said, how's that even possible? Nobody brings that up. I said, dog, can you imagine? There's quarterbacks that drops back to look for a pass that can't average 15 yards per throw. And this brother averaged 15.5 yards per run. I'm sitting like, God, no, who needs a quarterback when you have Saquon Barkley, you know? Yeah. So y'all remember that Washington guy? He would call him Saquon. Yeah, Washington. Saquon Barkley. Let me see if I can find that clip, man. Oh my God. So. Yeah. I found it over here. Hold on. Let me see. Let's see if I get it over here.
Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. Here we go, right here. That joker.
I swear, Saquon Barkley is the best. We survived the Giants, and now the Eagles got Saquon Barkley. Lord have mercy, man. All to the Eagles, man. All to the Birds. Okay.
That joker said Saquon. He said somebody Barkley. Yeah. Shoot, man, that was the killing us. That was the version that killed us, man.
Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, you go right here. It's better. I don't know if y'all can't see it all the way. I know where I can go to so y'all can see the fullness of it. Shout out to the Rogue Shop. Yeah. All right, so let me go right here. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. That brother said his name, and y'all think it was hard for me. So Washington people can't even say his name. They couldn't even stop him from saying his name. And nor they could stop him on the field. Watch it.
Saquon Barkley. I swear, Saquon Barkley is the best. We survived the Giants, and now the Eagles got Saquon Barkley. Lord have mercy, man.
That brother said Saquon after Shannon Sharp was what he said.
Sacrifice.
Boy.
Swallow that.
Oh, where my guy here, boy? Shit. Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, it was difficult, man. I still blame the damn Giants. They could have kept Saquon Barkley. They should have kept him, you know. But this is what we banking on. I'm going to go back and rehash what we said earlier.
My hope for the running game stems from the passing game because just structurally, as a defense, you really are not comfortable ISOing either of these guys. So they're going to get a lot of light boxes. They're going to face a lot of too high, and that's going to, I think, help the run game. And that run game, to me, being better depends on, like, a few things happening. The young offensive line has to take another step, but there's continuity there, right? Like a lot of these guys got reps last year. I love that. Yeah. Guyton, Beebe, you know, like they played together. The young backs, Jaden Blue is undersized, home run hitter, a little bit of fumbling problem in college, but as kind of the Tony Pollard role, I do like it. Javonte Williams, the guy who I'm hoping we can look a little bit more like he did at the beginning of his career, where he was really like tackle breaking, punishing
bell cow tackle breaking, punishing. So y'all give it what we did, right? Do y'all see the play? Y'all see the play that the Cowboys literally Shay Club Shay Barkley. Y'all see the play. Y'all see the play. Like if these two rookies can't get it done, it'll be Miles, it'll be Javonte and Miles. And if they can't get it done, and that's a brilliant move by Schottenheimer, is to get things that match a little bit. Like when we had Zeke here, right? The relief wasn't another Zeke type, right? The person that was on the roster never was another Zeke type. It went straight to Pollard, right? No continuity, like no exchange of the same. It was like either Zeke or Pollard. Right, so now we got Javonte Williams. Not to say he's in the same league as Zeke, but the spinoff will be Phil Maffa, right? Like those are quality types of mindset that hey, Phil Maffa on the high end, when healthy, you can run like Javonte Williams, right? And then with Miles Sanders, right? Not saying that his game is equivalent to Jadon Blue, but the type of back that they are similar, right? So at least we doubled up in those particular categories so that when you are blocking as an offensive lineman, you know, you want to get in rhythm with the type of running back that you have, and why not have something similar and not something that's completely different? And we can marry that up to even with the kind of caliber of quarterback that we got, right? It's been a situation and scenario whereas even in the days of Tony Romo, like when Tony Romo went down, we put in a whole different type of quarterback, right? It wasn't even the same type of throwing motion or skill set that we can adapt to, right? Or the players are customarily to see. Now, I'm not saying that Dak Prescott and Joe Milton are the same, but it's a similar situation is what I'm getting at. And I like that because the difference between Dak and Cooper Rush are completely different, right? On how they play and how they call and how they run and how they look through particular offenses and reading defenses, right? So it can be more of the same with Dak Prescott and Joe Milton, even though Joe got a crazy live arm and he's 6'5", 245, 255, just like a freight train. And I think what they're going to do with him is to get some of that, the red zone touch, push, tush type of thing going over here on our side, right? Which is good, which is dope. All right, and speaking of that, let's go back and talk about this interior offensive line that I've been talking about and how all of this works out. And what Mina Kimes is saying basically is that with this particular team, the throwing of the football could open up the run. We know that teams respect the quarterback's ability to throw the ball. Only those, believe it or not, that's not familiar with football and understanding that if a team is continuing to play quarters defense or if they continue to play too high safety, if they drop in 6 or if they drop in 7 in coverage, that's not a knock or a disrespect at the quarterback. That's an ultimate respect at the quarterback. But it's for damn sure a disrespectful move for your run game and your offensive line to have light body boxes, right? And saying to yourself that we can stop the run by rushing 4, right? In quarters defense, or when you have too high safeties, right? Or when you have coverages, whereas they are trying to cloud the passing routes, you're supposed to run them up out of that. And the Cowboys, I can go back to probably 2000, it's crazy, 2019-ish, is that the Cowboys collectively, since that time frame, never dictate what the opposing teams do. Like, we never punish them for lining up in those fashions on running the ball. It's like we would show it one time and we'll step back and say, all right, we don't really want to play around with it. And we go straight to that narcotic, that addiction of throwing the ball. And it got to a point that my guy, West Coast Cowboys, shout out to him, I see him when we out there in Oxnard, had to create a hat that states, run the damn ball. Because it's clearly and obviously that teams want you to run the ball, but we was like, no, we're going to throw it to the teeth, right? And it's crazy how all of this can all be alleviated by making them pay. You run them up out of their quarters defense. You run them up out of when they drop in those safeties deep. But at the end of the day, the Cowboys just never dictated those things. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. That damn Clayton Adams, he gonna run you up out of that. He gonna give you some of that old school philosophy on that.
Back. Brian Schottenheimer is calling the plays, but as an offensive coordinator, he brought in Clayton Adams from Arizona, who had unbelievable run game. Just some pieces in place that make me think, okay, the favorable looks, different backs, young offensive line.
Ryan right here.
Schottenheimer is calling the plays, but as an offensive coordinator, he brought in Clayton Adams from Arizona, who had unbelievable run game. Just
rewind one more time.
but as an offensive coordinator, he brought in Clayton Adams from Arizona, who had unbelievable run game.
When the last time we heard that over here? When the last time we heard someone say, hey, man, the Cowboys brought in a guy that had unbelievable run game? When the last time we heard those words? You got to say it's such a simple concept. Run the ball. right. But run with a purpose, too. And it felt as if, though, we ran things to solidify quota, right? Right. It was like not a lot of substance to our run game.
There's some pieces in place that make me think, okay, the favorable looks, different backs, young offensive line, interesting offensive coach who's had success with the run game. But a lot of it does have to do with this young offensive line coming together. How do you see that group playing?
All right, so we played that on the other episode, like his thoughts on that. All right, and I want to say this again, and this is no knock or shade at Ezekiel Elliott, by the way. Overall, we had 2.5 great seasons with Ezekiel Elliott. His droppage, if you look at a chart, I used to have a chart up here. His droppage and overall production came once we elevated Kellen Moore as the play caller. Now, granted, people are going to be like, yeah, but look what Kellen Moore did last year. They got a Lombardi trophy. Cowboys love to give excuses. Like, you think that man stood the same? He had the same. If you think that Kellen Moore in 2024 had the same amount of knowledge that he had in 2018, I got land on the moon for sale, or 2019. I got land on the moon for sale. The problem is what I'm trying to get through, most people's skull and crack their cranium and fertilize their brain.
Let me crack your cranium and fertilize your brain.
Is that we had to go through all of the growing pains, all of the mistakes, all of the hiccups, all of the shortcomings. It was on us. It was on us. We had to go through that. Right? The kid, look, and then we would know who really Kellen Moore is now, since he got a full team to himself down there in New Orleans. But what I'm getting at is that, yeah, I think that a lot of people last season, if you have all of those things that's right around you, you could have called some good plays for the Eagles. Of course, you have A.J. Smitty, got a nice offensive line, and Saquon Barkley. How can you mess that up on calling plays? Is what I'm getting at, too. But we had to go through all of the growing pains. Now, with Ezekiel Elliott, one of the things that really hurt us is that we switched from being a run-first primary team to a pass-happy team. And that really hurt the ideology of his numbers. But if you contextualize Ezekiel Elliott's number, and I did this before, I did my research already. Save y'all some typing up. And this was before ChatGPT, by the way. If you type in Ezekiel Elliott's numbers and Edgerrin James' numbers for the first so many game careers, they are mirroring each other because Ezekiel Elliott had that type of impact. The problem is that when you have somebody that draws and write with Crayolas that don't know how to utilize and use said weapon, you get these type of issues. And that's been our issue from day one. Now, granted, now we got a coach that understands run game, philosophy, and schemes and fits that's been acknowledged as, hey, he got an unbelievable run situation. We're going to be better in these categories, even with a Javonte Williams and a Miles Sanders and a Phil Maffa and if he can make the team, a Deuce Vaughn and Jadon Blue. So y'all get what I'm saying. Yeah, I take that 4 or 5 yards falling down and good blocking over what we had out of Pollard. This is from Ken. Yeah, here's to be 1,000 again with you guys. When you have a strategy, system, scheme, and concept put into place, the things that we saw that the Detroit Lions were doing last season, we already had it. Law, do you have any truth to that? There's not a single soul in 2019 would take a David Montgomery over an Ezekiel Elliott, right? And one can argue, as good as Jahmyr Gibbs is, a young Tony Pollard could have done those same things, or even equivalent or better than what Jahmyr Gibbs did, right? But we didn't have anybody with the knowledge or the foresight to draw up plays like that or to dial up things like that. So we already had what Detroit Lions had last season, but we never utilized and used it. We would literally put 20 to 25 snaps or reps in for Ezekiel Elliott and give Tony Pollard 2 touches a game. There's been some games that Tony Pollard would have 1 damn touch, right? And we sitting there like, come on. If you're going to have that type or kind of caliber system, utilize it. Matter of fact, we waited till Tony Pollard went to his contract year to start utilizing. He breaks his foot, and we bring him back with the expectations that he never broke his foot. It's crazy. That's how we do things over here. It was working backwards, right? Yeah. So it's crazy. And I just wanted to bring that up. But let me get to this point right here, and I thank y'all. I thank y'all for all that y'all do over here. And I want to get to this point. Brandon Laurie, he does a great job of recapping all of this information. The Cowboys have had an interior player in the top 2 on the list every single season, and he's talking about offensive line and the offensive line situation. In 2020, it was Zach Martin. As you guys can see, yeah, that's just what he do. In 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024. One can argue that in 2024, there was more political, but that's a whole nother conversation. In 2025, now it's Tyler Smith. Yes, indeed. Appreciate you for your support. Appreciate you for your support. All right, so with that being said, the streak should continue. I got my guy D Shift states Miles Sanders is fresh and has an offense to be good. Yeah. So he should be. All right. And on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, think about this. He talked about fresh with that super chat, right? And if you want to get fresh, and there's been storylines and this and that about people not being fresh when they go and they've been outside in the elements, and they said, man, it smells like trash bags in the middle of July, right? And they've been talking about this with this and that. But if you are of the belief that you want to be fresh and you want to be in control of it up to 72 hours, let me tell you what you need to reach out and get, because this can help alleviate a lot of things. Let's talk about control. And first and foremost, I'm talking about control body odor, and that's anywhere. And all you have to do is shop.mando and get $5 off of your starter pack, and that's over 40% with promo code LAW, shopmando.com. Let's go. I use this body wash odor control, full body control with Mando. They have the product here, and they also have deodorant that you apply under the arm for 72 hours of odor control. You want to be in control. And speaking of control, they also have the product that you can apply all over the body, the invisible cream, and it also fights for 72 hours. Look, it's all about being in control. And with Mando, man, they control body odor anywhere. All you have to do is shop.mando, get $5 off your starter pack. That's over 40% with promo code LAW, shopmando.com. Let's go, and let's stay in control of your odor. I love it.
Let's go, man! Let's go!
Let's go, baby! So for the hot spots, yeah, Ace Boogie, yeah, use those Mandos. And we do have some wipes that you can use that you can, wipe up when you just, trying to get that refresh. You've been out at the spots and the clubs and stuff. Get you a travel pack with you with Mando, and then use promo code LAW. That's law, by the way, for those who can't understand that. And they will take great care of you. All right, with that being said, also there's rumors out there if Ezekiel Elliott does not find a home, it is being reported, and this is only a rumor for right now. I could check with sources, but at this point, why? But it's just rumored that he's expecting to retire. And I'm quite sure that he should retire a Cowboy. They may give him a call and for a one-day contract, sign him up under the boys. And then if I'm Zeke, I'm speaking on behalf of me. If I'm Zeke, right, I'm going for a lawsuit of lost income. Yeah, right. For 2017, I'm trying to recoup those 6 days that the NFL unlawfully and unrightfully suspended me, and I think he would have a strong case, right? He got tons of evidence and stuff like that he can showcase to the NFL and say, hey, these punishments were not aligned with X, Y, and Z, right? Because this guy he did this, and I'll be just like this. I'll be pointing, trying to get my wages, get my money back. All right, Paris State's law. Do we have the fastest running back in wide receiver in the league?
Yeah, on paper.
Maybe on paper, I don't know. It's going to be good because one thing I can say with this, the Cowboys definitely not lacking speed. Yeah, they're definitely not lacking speed. Yeah, the fastest edge rusher. I think that we probably have the fastest edge rushers in the National Football League, right? Right? We have the fastest edge rushers. And I think Kyer Elam, he runs like a 4.3 something as the defensive back. Bland, he's a 4.4 guy. Solid, good 4.4 guy. We got a fast team on defense. We got a fast team. Overshawn is crazily fast, but we got to see him come back, though. But running back, 4.25 is nothing to sneeze at. Even if Jadon Blue can be a poor man's Chris Johnson, which I doubt that he would run like Chris Johnson, oh, my God, we didn't hit the lottery. If he could be that, So he's really fast, right? Even though people say, no, he's a 4.3 guy, but he's a 4.25. And if you think about Kevontae Turpin, that boy fast. I never seen him get caught from behind, but we never put him in position to win, right? So we will be looking at that. We'll be looking at that. Those 7 games are like 5% of Zeke's career. Yeah, ratio. It was 7 games overall. That's a lot, man. And we're not even talking about other sponsorships that he could have received due to that negative connotation, But speaking of everything, getting things moving and grooving, let's go ahead quickly and move this subject matter and topic conversation to our partners, before I go into this too, this weekend, phenomenal. Shout out to Alicia Baumgardner for winning that fight, even though a lot of people looking at it like, hey, and she haven't fought in a couple of years though, but she keeps her belt. Shout out to my girl Chicken. She's gonna try to do a rematch. She lost this weekend. We will see what they're gonna do with that. But shout out to the city of Dallas and the state of Texas for representing on the box or the fight night on Friday. But if you are in a situation or a scenario that you see a lot of fire, and this is right here in Fort Worth, our team of experts do cover Fort Worth as well, right? And if you are an offender bender, you've been ran over, you got T-bone, you got, even if somebody barely grazed your car, I need for you to reach out to our partners. That's Frenkel and Frenkel Personal Injury Lawyers. That's 214 and all of the 3s, or 817 in all of the 3s. Frenkel and Frenkel Personal Injury Lawyers will take great care of you. On top of that, if you can't reach out to them with those numbers, just visit frankelfirm.com. If not, let them talk about it.
It starts from the first phone call. Most of the time, you're going to talk to Gene Burkett, a 30-year partner. You're not going to talk to some employee that just got put on the phones that day.
There are things that are so crucial, especially if it's a cataclysmic event, to have our experts get out and look at the vehicle, witness statements, photos, the whole thing.
Call Frenkel first.
Chosen by the people, feared by the insurance companies. Call Frenkel first.
Call my phone.
Yes, that's like I said, 214 or 817 and all of the threes. We're going to try to take about 2 or 3 callers if possible. But reach out to us at FrenkelFirm.com. Fill out your information. They got over 100 years combined with their law firm. That's a lot of information. They located here in the heart of Dallas, so be sure to reach out to our partners, Franklin Frenkel Personal Injury Lawyer. Now, my phone number is 657-390-7391. That's the hotline for your mind. Now, granted, I'm seeing some people in the comment box stating that, hey, well, why haven't y'all done anything with Ezekiel Elliott? Now, we crafted up that whole conversation about run game. 2 things that I wanted going into 2025 and also going into 2024 and 2023. I said, can we do these 2 things? Can we run the ball and stop the run? Now, when we got to the postseason, even in that quarters defense, even when they were even in 2 high safeties, right? Tampa 2. We couldn't run the ball. We couldn't run the ball with light boxes. With Ezekiel Elliott. It's crazy for him to average 2.1 yards per run in the postseason. Since, if we go back, since 2019 to 2020 like that. It's crazy. And that's on coaching, though. That's on coaching. I got Hood Quavius Cushington. You're live on the nation, man.
What's up, my guy? How are you, Hoodie? What's up, chat? Cowboy Nation, how's everybody today?
Man, everybody great, man. Happy Sunday to you, man. What you got on the Cush report, man? What you got for me?
All right, the Cush report. I did a video on this a while back, but since we're talking about rushing and the lack of conviction that we showed in the past couple of years under Mike McCarthy,
right?
I figured I'd bring this one up. So when a lot of people say that Shotty's history, he has a really good run game. I agree and semi-disagree. Here's why.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So when he was with the Jets, 2009 to 2011, okay, in those years, 2009, his first year. Now, granted, they had dogs. They had dogs in the running back spot. So they were first. They were ranked first place in 2009.
Yeah.
Okay? And it dipped. It dipped year after year, change of personnel and all that, change of coaching philosophies.
Right.
Same thing with Seattle. So 2009, he ranked first in the league in rushing offense. 2010, he ranked 4th in the league in rushing offense. Now, in 2011, his last season with the Jets, 2009, 2010, those were the AFC Championship years.
Correct. Correct.
So we go over to 2011, and then, after those 2 AFC championships, of course, cats get poached, like from personnel to coaching. So
Facts.
Cats get poached. You know what I'm saying? So they dropped considerably, 18 spots to 22nd in the league. That's not really indicative to what Shotty's coaching style is.
Correct.
Remember, personnel changes, coaching changes. You know what I'm saying? Now, his red zone ranking within those same years were the reverse.
Right.
He was 20th in 2009, 30th in 2010, but first in 2011. And when I look at that, when I look at those numbers, I look at necessity, right?
Right.
So you had home run hitters 2009, 2010. That means in 2011, you didn't have home run hitters. You had big bodies. So it was more of a necessity. We can get down the field, but as far as passing is concerned, you didn't have the dogs to get it in there, so you had to punch it in with a big package.
There you
go. If you remember when Kellen Moore was here, and we ran like a big package, right? Even when Zeke was here, we would put one of our offensive linemen in as a blocker.
We would do that aspect of it, and we had packages. The thing is, in Quicks, because got a long line, and I got to be somewhere at the top of the hour. In Quicks, we would see certain packages and then never to see them again, which was a crazy flow on continuity. I'll never forget it. We played against the Giants, and the Giants, they had a real good front four, right, or front seven. It was really like okay that year, but we ran 14 personnel, like that's crazy. We had 4 tight ends out there, bro, and we was running the ball out of that package there, and then for us to never see that package again, it was kind of crazy, right? And for us to have splashes here and there, just that's why Kellen Moore had became this. I forgot the guy called him a collector of plays. Whereas it don't match. We just have good plays and we'll throw them out there and see what stick. And that's not a way you can win when you get to the postseason. But keep going and closing though. Yeah.
In closing, that with the whole Kellen Moore, one of those guys who gets plays that stick. That's because of lack of continuity from your head coach.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? If he's not, or lack of conviction from your head coach. But in closing, I'll say this. Hoodie Kush is always here to give up vital information to anybody who needs it, even Law Nation, because he gives me vital information, and I get to run with it. So with that being said, the Basement Boys is always here. I'll probably be going live tonight. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Hoodie Kush. How about them Cowboys? Let's get it going.
Yes, indeed, man. That's my guy, man. Great report, man, from Hoodquavius Cushiton, the Basement Boy. So be sure to subscribe to him. Also, keep your thoughts and prayers out to Sadiq Charles. A lot of times when people announce that they lost a loved one, people hit them up that day, right? But what about the following days? What about the following weeks, the following months? Years, you still feel that pain. So be sure to continue to pray for Mama Charles and all, and condolences, because we know we've been down that road before. And old folks said this: either you going into a storm or you coming out of it, right? This too shall pass, but we all gonna have to meet the same thing one way or another, and I just want you guys to continue to keep her lifted in prayer and get things going. All right, I got the next caller from the 910 who always send me great information, great stuff, and before I bring him up on, I forgot to play his intro, and I'm going to play it twice for both of these guys over here, believe it or not, and we're going to see if we can get this going for you all. Give me 1 second here, baby. Here we go.
Smoke weed every day.
And there's smoke one for you from the 910 you in. Dog, talk to me, man.
Nah, you crazy, man.
Yeah, let's get it.
You got me. You got me. You got me.
I got you.
You got me, bro.
I got you.
Yeah. Hey, man, this is Smoke One for you, bro. I want to make sure you're having a good life, man. Everything's going good for everybody. Sadiqa, I'm praying for you, sweetheart. I hate to hear you that happened to your mom, man, but I'm about to cry myself about hearing about it. But I'm praying for you, sweetheart. And Dee, all Cowboy Nation have your back, sweetheart. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
All right. But no, be for real, bro. Our run game, man. I don't know why some of our fans think that it's just gonna be shoddy calling these plays, bro. Like Clayton Adams ain't there, okay?
Yeah.
Like Clayton Adams ain't there. Like Ronnie's not the O-line coach. Like it can't help but to get better, bro. I'm just saying, bro. If Connor can do good behind the Arizona line, what do you think some of our running backs might be able to do behind a decent line at that?
Yeah. The only person that people knew that was on that offensive line is Will Hernandez, and I think that he's a free agent. He's still available.
And only running back y'all knew about on the Arizona Cardinals team was Connor. And Bro, you tell me, Law, what did Connor do to the Eagles in the Eagles land? I'll wait.
Yeah. He, what do you call that? What you rotisserie chicken, them birds?
Rotisserie chicken, yes, sir. He barbecued the hell out of them boys, man. Barbecue them. Okay? So you're going to, listen, I understand it's been years. It's been years and years. We have not been on the same game plan with the run game and the defense. It's been that way. But think about it, Law. Tell me if I'm lying, okay? Do you think this coaching staff is getting built like how Jimmy had it? He was a young coach with young coaching staff, with a young team at the same time?
I think that Jimmy ruled with an iron fist, and he put the fear of God in these guys, right? And and Jimmy, it was a psychologist or one of those guys like other minds, so he knew how to really motivate and elevate these guys. So if we can say similar, we can argue that. Will it be the same?
Not always.
Yeah, it can be the same. Yeah. Nah, because Emmett is Emmett, man. Emmett is. I'm gonna say this though. I think Emmitt Smith is gonna go down, and it still is, in my opinion, the most disrespected, underrated running back of all time.
Bro, I told you that. I think it was like last week. Yeah. He's the best contact balance running back. He's the best wiggle running back. He had the greatest sight in most of the running backs. I mean, he knew where to go. He had a hit. He bouncing off of it. He keep on going, and he had a decent line to go with it. So them two combined.
Yeah, and the craziest thing of it all, not one person on that offensive line was drafted in the first round. You see, these were guys that Jimmy shifted and molded to that particular spot, right? And these were the guys that now the Great Wall of Dallas, of course, L.A. came down the stretch in the back end. But even when I'm talking like that, there will be always people to dismiss what Emmett was able to do and fail to realize that the next person that was in line couldn't even fill in the shoes of Emmett. The feet were too big. You know, he's a size 22 feet. You know, everybody else had small feet to fill in those shoes, and it's crazy. It's crazy how this all.
It's crazy. But in closing, let me go ahead and get up out of here. Now, I know you got somewhere to go, bro. But in closing, listen, fans, stop crying over spilled milk. Right. It's a process. It's a process. It really is. This is a new coaching staff. There's a lot of new bodies we got. We got a lot of now new draft picks. We got free agency. Let this team build, man, because it can't get no better. It has to get better. It has to, bro. I mean, something's got to stop somewhere, bro. I mean, enough is enough, man. We took too much of this. It's 30 years. It's 30 years, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've seen 4 Super Bowls. I need for all these new fans to see at least once.
Let's see it once, man. But I appreciate the smoke, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. Keep sending me all of that information. Go Cowboys.
Oh, always. Because hey, and the Eagles are always going to be trash.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I wish I could pull it up right now. Yeah, trash. I already know what you're talking about. Trash, man. There's a video footage of Philadelphia. And I try not to harp on the city because they had nothing to do with how the Philadelphia people are overall, because we got some good diehard Cowboy fans in Philly. But they got streets upon streets of trash just all on the side. I thought about, putting some Eagle logos out there, but, it just came off of a Super Bowl. I'm not going to beat them up too bad, right? Now, granted, I do got that clip reserved for when the season kick off and we win week 1. When we win week 1, it's going to be on and popping. Y'all know how that goes. All right, so let me see. 12,
the conference
28.
has been locked.
I got my guy from the 409. What's on your mind? D-Shift, man. Talk to us, man.
Hey, what's up, bro?
Hey, man, all is well, man. I can't complain, bro.
Happy Sunday.
Likewise.
Yes, sir, man. But nah, man. I was thinking about it. I was, I super chatted that Miles. Just kind of wanted to expand on the Miles Sanders take, man. I just find it interesting that he's a guy that's been decorated in the league before,
right?
In a good situation. He has, I say, like 900. They said like 935 carries. I looked up, and you respect it to like Saquon, who was going in with like 1,200, and Derrick Henry didn't immediately flash because of he was kind of sharing with DeMarco Murray, but then like once he started becoming a feature, he kind of took off, and he's kind of a different type of specimen in itself. Just saying that to say, man, it'd be crazy if we sitting back here and we're thinking about all the anxiety the running back positions causes over this offseason, and Miles Sanders kind of just shows you like he can do basically what he did before in this league, you know?
Yep.
And as you said, you know, like, you know, just anybody just can't say like you can just throw anybody back there, you know, even though the Eagles, it seemed like they had him, they had DeAndre Swift, and then they had Saquon just take over and take him to the Super Bowl. But like, you know, again with Emmett in the same situation, they put in that backup. I don't even remember who that guy was, but they put him in, and you know what I'm saying, everybody start throwing a little mutiny about, you know what I'm saying, signing Emmett back. So I don't know, man. I think Miles in this situation, because he has everything, right? Like you look at like Dak, we say like,
right,
you know, he needs a running back, you know, but there's other players that if they have this rest of stuff around them, and Miles has a great quarterback, what's potentially going to be a real good offensive line,
right,
and a great receiving core, and a tight end who's performed at a pretty decent rate in this league already before. So like you put all that together, man, you're looking at something that, you know, it ain't going to be too shabby when it comes to, you know, down to us coming to play this season. I think the hardest part is just the fact that we have such a tough schedule. So that's my biggest angst, is just the competition that we're playing. But you need to beat that competition. And then just one more quick thing, talking about defensive ends shifting in those NASCAR packages, you know what I mean? Is that going to be enough to kind of alleviate some of the defensive tackle lack of depth? And can we see a spot under the Eberflus philosophy, how he treats the tackles, not really needing that big one tech? I don't really remember us like really bringing in a lot of big one techs all the time in Marinelli's system. So can you see a nice little duo between Osa and Solomon Thomas? You know, we sitting here thinking that Solomon Thomas just going to be Osa's backup.
Right.
But are we going to see a lot of playing time from Solomon Thomas to where you got Eberflus kind of cooking something up with just those type of tackles? And I'll just get off and listen to you, bro. Appreciate you. How about some Cowboys?
No doubt, no doubt. When I look at what he's lamenting here, you know, the whole situation, it's a wait and see. So it's like now we the ones with the element of the unknown. And when you look, here's how I'm gonna break this down the best way possible as it relates to Matt Eberflus defense opposed to Dan Quinn defense, or to a Rob Marinelli's to a degree defense, is that when you embellish a little bit, you kind of put on things to showcase that you are okay in these situations. Like when you don't have a true front seven, in order to get pressure, you got to fabricate it a little bit, meaning that you got to blitz. You got to use your personnel to get pressure. You got to figure out ways to do things differently to get home, right? So what my guy did, Dan Quinn did, was, okay, I don't have the personnel or the scheme or the system to create pressure with front four in a traditional set of 3 linebackers. But I know for sure, athletically speaking, if we can get the lead, right? If we can get the lead, then I can have a safety to play linebacker, and he can get pressure. He can coverage the flats real quickly, and I can dismiss a one tech because I just want my guys to shoot and get upfield. Now, granted, that can work. But there's a saying, you live by the 3, you die by the 3. If you requiring that the only way that you can win a basketball game is to shoot on the perimeter on the outside, what happened when you not hitting? Right? So that's when discipline get into the nature. 2 things that requires discipline, believe it or not, is running the ball and stopping the run. It requires discipline, gap protection. Hey, linebackers, slow until you know. Don't over pursuit. Be where your feet at, but you got to beat your feet to get there to make the tackle. Foresight, if you're on foresight, you come down and field. You don't think about it. If a body is in there, you blow through the body, pause if necessary. You scrape, disengage, and you get to the running back, right? But you got containment. You can't go for the eye candy. If your responsibility is to control the edge and contain on the outside, you don't supposed to dip shoulder, break free, and get to the quarterback to make the sack or to the running back. Your objective is to contain, so that your linebacker can scrape and get to that edge to make a tackle. It's no hero ball, but you start to do things for show when you just trying to get the sack, right? Or when you trying to get the pressure. So what Matt Eberflus does differently is he teaches his guys on every level technique and discipline. You're not going to the quarterback first. Your objective is to stop the run first. That's a difference of philosophies. Now, when he stated that, hey, through the course of Matt Eberflus, I haven't seen X, Y, and Z things from Eberflus as far as from a personnel. Here's what I'm looking at it from this aspect. I'm not going to isolate this defense on Matt Eberflus, because just like we got Connor Riley on the offensive side that's going to help out this offensive line, lo and behold, we got a guy that everywhere he's been ranked on top 10 on stopping the run, and his name is Aaron Whitecotton. Now, Aaron Whitecotton can literally look at this thing and say to you all right, yeah, Mozzie may be this, Jay Toya may be this, but he might know something that these guys could fit in. Everywhere he's been, their rushing defense been top 10. Javon Kinlaw was considered a bust before he got in hold onto that Whitecotton. To that same point, in the last 2 seasons, say what you want, Solomon Thomas' numbers been equivalent to the guy that most of you guys would be willing to give a spleen for, and that's Jared Allen. Why is his numbers considered in the last 2 seasons equivalent to Jared Allen's number? Well, Aaron Whitecotton. So now coaching plays a matter, health, and all of this other stuff. So what I'm getting at is that don't look too much into personnel, but look into what Aaron Whitecotton may be able to do from an education. At some point, we got to have coaches to coach. And before I let the next caller on, we got to understand this too. You give it what you pay for. The Cowboys, and I'm not beating them up, but I am, and these are facts, right? Not opinions, been the lowest salary paid coaching staff in the National Football League in the last 15 to 20 years. We don't pay coaches here. We don't, let me say this again, we don't pay coaches here. Man, let me be a billionaire, man. I will have the highest and the best of the best coaching staff. But we don't do that here. We paying these guys equivalent to what other staff is getting, dog water. That's what we are paying these guys. And if you don't want to take my word for it, just do your research and you realize, damn, yeah, we don't pay our coaches here. And I ain't talking about a head coach and defensive coordinator. I'm talking about your other ancillary coaches. They're not making a lot of money here. So just like with Tashard Choice, when he had a choice to pick the boys or Detroit, man, I'm going where the money at, and people will say, hey, man, for the love of money is the root of all evil, right? But I want you to go back and read that text, right? And then read that scripture a little bit further, and it says, money answereth all things. Not a few things, not some things, not most. It says all things. Money answereth all things. And if Jerry continue to not spend the money, the moolah, on the coaching staff to get the people in the right positions, you're always going to have the rubbernecks. You're always going to have, hey, Tampa Bay won't be this bad, Coaching for the Vikings won't be that bad. Coaching for Cincinnati. So that's how you don't be. It's a war of attrition. Right? So you lose. You lose when you build in the staff and people leave because they can get better opportunities elsewhere. Right? And we ain't talking about the differences of $10 to $20. I'm talking about a difference of hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? So at least one of the things that's going under the radar with the Cowboys is that at least Shotty is bringing in qualifiable coaching or coaches that's in the building that we can look at their resume and their total body of work and say, damn, at least we got a guy that know how to coach linebackers and not a guy that was Uber lifting, you know what I'm saying? Or working at Walmart, right? And say, hey, I could be a linebackers coach. I got from the 206, you in the mix.
What up, Law?
How much, man?
Yo, man, you make good sense, bro. I like how your man was talking, the foundation.
Yeah.
That run game. That defense, that's going to get us over the top if we do like you're talking about. Because everybody, like you say, everybody panicking about the run. I'm not panicking because I'm telling you, one of them halfbacks going to break out, man, with this run scheme. I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody got to stop panicking like we going to, like we ain't got no run. I don't understand why everybody don't think we don't have no running back. Like I said before, I remember I said, Law, if one of our running backs went to another team, and we done dropped him, he blowing up, they'll be like, oh man, why we didn't get him? But when we get somebody on our team, oh, he's a bum. Oh, they not good. I'm running back. I'm like, I ain't never seen that like it before, man. Boy, just don't understand it, man. Yeah. Why they do that, Long?
I mean, it's just how it goes, man. We in a situation, and it's how it goes, man,
Man. Well, you'll be here next week.
Hey, who knows, man? But yeah, can't wait to see how things go, MJ. And what else you got for me, man? Before I let you go,
man, I just want to see that passing game, man. I think the man, right? I was watching some tape of the old Cowboys last night,
right?
And Troy kept doing that. He get under the center, that play action, man. That thing is deadly, man.
Yep. In order. Yeah. A snake got to have venom and it got to have teeth too, right? In order for that play action to work, meaning that when you see that rattlesnake, and you hear that rattle, that's a warning sign, right? A rattlesnake without that rattle, you like, oh man, it's just a gardener snake, but so that's why I'm getting at. So if the Cowboys gonna use play action, we got to have the ability to run the ball, you know what I'm saying? To at least make them pay, that's what I'm looking at.
Got to make it run. But that screen game, too, though. No, we never had a screen game. You got to have that screen game, man.
Been a minute, yeah.
If you do both with him, you're going to be dangerous.
No doubt.
And like I say, the pass rushing game, this is going to help.
City Kid Charles, $5.
Pause for a
Hello,
second.
Law. Yeah. Thank you for all you do for us and for your prayers. Thank you, chat room, as well for your prayers.
No doubt, man. That's Sadiq Charles with the $5 super chat. We always got you in our prayers, Sadiq. In closing, MJ, what you have for us, man?
In closing, man, like I say, I always gonna say, let's keep that foundation. Let's go out there. Let the best man win, and that's how you can get a chip. Don't favoritism. Let the best man win.
No favoritism. You're right, man. Appreciate you, man. That's MJ, man, from the 206, man. Can't wait to meet up with him for the 2025 season out there in Oxnard. It's going to be a great time. All right, and once again, man, put SC in the chat. I know how it feels without having moms and them, especially on days like this. Sunday dinner. You used to shoot. Broccoli, rice, and cheese casserole, all that stuff, man. Some yams and stuff. Moms used to be able to cook, boy, some quarter hens. Ooh, we talking about some rotisserie. Man, them quarter hens, man. Look, we were eating that before Walmart did their rotisserie thing and Sam Club did their rotisserie thing. But Mom used to get that quarter hen or the Cornish hen or however you call it. Yeah, Cornish hen. Oh, my God. It's some rice. Ooh. Wee, she, I might want to eat that today. But and some mac and cheese. I ain't talking about no Kraft mac and cheese. I'm talking about that thing that come out of the oven. Ooh, boy, I'm getting hungry now. All right, I got Pastor Tim, man, from the 469. You're live on the Nation. Talk to me.
Hey, what's up, Big Lord? My father got a couple more days to go on the 16th. He'll be in Raleigh Hospital.
For the heart surgery, right?
Yes, sir, for heart surgery. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we've been praying for him. Yeah.
And I thank you so much for that. And also, I got something good. I'm working on YouTube. I'm trying to work on a ministry. I'm trying to go live, but I only have 2 subs, so I just need 50 subs to reach so I can go live.
So you can go live on it, okay. All right, so they can hear the word live, man. That'll be a blessing, man. So once we get off the phone, let people know the name of your YouTube page and how we can help grow it so you can go live and deliver the word so that people can hear you speak on your thing, man. But what you got for me today, bro?
I'm telling you, when I drop down, I'm gonna type it in on live so everybody can see.
Most certainly.
To give you. I'll tell you right now, we gonna be okay. The Cowboys gonna be great. Like I said, man, it takes patience and time it takes time. It takes patience to put everybody together. You know what I'm saying? Where everyone on the team see a brand new Dane, a Dane they never seen before on the field. So they're gonna say, "Oh, let me make the formula right. Let me make sure I do things right on this field so I can make this team."
Yeah.
But if I get cut, that means that doesn't mean I'm a bad player.
Right.
That means the team is full, loaded with talent. So you might not make the team. You could be so great on this team, but you might not make it. So football is by chance. You might make it or you might not, but it'll be okay. Cause one day, you will make the team. So thank you, Lord, very much for helping me. I'm gonna type in and chat and everything. Thank you so much, Mr. Lord. I appreciate it. And how about them Cowboys?
Hey, how about them, man? Okay, that's my guy, Pastor Tim, man. Great words, great words of wisdom from him, and I can't wait to see him start his content creation page together. And sometimes in life, you got to do what you got to do to get there. Back in those days, I'm going way back, there was a guy by the name of Zacchaeus. He was the chief tax collector. And when you are one of those people during those time frames, you get spit upon because you look as if though you're evil. Because you're taking people money. Just like Uncle Sam, I'm trying to see if I can claim him on my taxes next season. But his mischiefs and his deceiving ways, he disguised them. You see, he would climb up on a tree and he would sit on that tree like a bird and he'll watch over everything and he would meddle folks, right? But the reason being he would do those things because of his height. He didn't want to let people know how tall he was, right? Because he didn't want to give people extra energy, right, to have something against him. But I'm going to tell y'all that the encounter that he had when someone knows exactly the countenance of who you really can be, regardless of whether or not you're in a tree, regardless of whether or not you're in a valley, there's always potentials in you. And I'm not finna get too deep into it because I want y'all to look them up. But what I'm telling y'all is that this particular team, Cowboy fans, we don't have to worry about being in a tree. We don't have to worry about being in a valley. The countenance of what all work should be able to do is to be exhibited and exuded from what we stand on. And that is solid ground with our thoughts. And my solid ground here, ladies and gentlemen, is that this particular team should be able to run based off of the information that we have overseen and inseen, and also will be able to touch and feel, and that is the run game. Because there's too many people with run game good on their resume, and that is Connor Riley. In K-State, wherever he's been, they've been on the national side leading top 10 in offense. Clayton Adams with the run game even in Cardinals land. They've been at least top 5 or top 6 in run game. I think that Shadi assembled a team that's going to be able to alleviate all of that nonsense bullsugar stuff that we've been talking about. Can the Cowboys run? Now, validation is only good for parking. I can tell y'all that we are not validated here with the run backs that we have. The running backs, nobody's validated. Javonte, high upside, hurt guy. Miles Sanders did good job in Eagles, but David blamed himself when he went to Carolina, right? And we keep using, hey, it was Carolina, but then they had a guy named Hubbard that ran everywhere. So we can't use that. Jadon Blue, fast as lightning. Blue Lightning, you know, the guy's good. We could call him Blue Magic. The problem is he like to play basketball with the football. Phil Maffa, he can do it all, but he was drafted in the late rounds. Tanny Deuce Vaughn, yeah, he's small. There's people right now watching that's bigger than him, and they're in middle school, high school, right? Give me the ball. Is what most people say. So what I'm getting at is, yes, we may be rejected as the running back room because we haven't ran the ball in a good way in the last 30 years, you can argue, right? When it's meaningful games in the postseason. But what if the stones that's been rejected become the chief cornerstone of the master's builders? What if this run game can be the elixir for this team by committee? Because we do know one thing for sure, two things for certain. If when we do have run game, that quarterback that most people spit upon named Rain Dakota Prescott got an unbelievable record when you have run game. So let's do those things to solidify that, Cowboy Nation. We got to run the ball. We dodged the bullet. As you look at the thumbnail, Quinshon Judkins, we're not laughing or celebrating at his pitfalls. But if we drafted him, he would never be able to play for the Cowboys, especially with that type of stuff that's on his resume. Because, sure, they suspended a perfect good person without a mug shot for 6 games and drug that out for the entirety of the offseason, all the way through the regular season in 2017. So let's get this mindset together, ladies and gentlemen. D-Shift is 10 toes down on Miles Sanders. If you think he's going to be the good guy for us, let us know. Put MS in the chat, Miles Sanders. But in departing with you guys, I had a great time on this Sunday. We don't have to climb no trees, and we don't have to have the Messiah to say, get down off of that tree and spread the word. Be on my side. But in closing, if there's one thing a man should always do, is mainly to himself stay true. Never allow someone to change your point of view unless what they bring makes sense to you. Never judge a man by sight alone, nor by the height he has grown. And when speaking, keep it at a moderate tone. Raise voices only turn those hearts into stone. You see, in the beginning, it was how about them Cowboys? We them boys, the morals of life, live, love, and respect for another. Then there are those who will try to be smart. They would take the decent man to alter his heart, to seek to rip him apart. Those man, yes, those man, you should never call a friend or a fan, because they bend their lies around the truth to meet their end. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Keep your prayers together for Mama Sadiq Charles. Let's continue. And as they say, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. But absent from the body is present with the Creator. DC for life. Let's run it up, baby. Come on.
Tell them run it up.
Run it. What we tell them, baby? I'll wake up.
I wake up, flex, thumb down, that check, no drip, no sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, first I stretch, run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down, that check, no drip, run it up. No sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch, tell them run it up. 9 out of 10, roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turned to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could
shout out to your key, dog.
You tried to zone me.
Don't zone
I'm
me,
number
D-Shift.
one up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady.
Come on.
The first one in, the last one out, can't call me Liz.
Can't call Lawless.
Put in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ.
Law Nation, let's get it.
I wake up,
Law
thumb down that check, no drip this. Tell them run it up.
Come on.
No sleep,
Unlucky,
no rest.
I see you.
Crash, might wreck, but first I
stretch.
Tell them run it up.
Come on.
I wake up, flex, thumb down that check, no drip this. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck.
Call my guy.
First I stretch. Tell them run it up. Y'all gon' make me take that trip way out
to Philly. Come on.
Call up Nigeria, come through in a hurry.
Let's get it.
Those London boys don't come.
Those Dallas boys. Get worried.
One false move, find yourself, they getting buried.
Getting buried.
The devil used to love playing those games.
Come on.
Made some bad decisions that brought my mama pain.
Not mine.
I made a promise to her, swore that I would change. I'm on the come up, bet I live up to my name.
What we do, baby?
I wake up, flex, thumb down that check, no drip this.
Tell them run it up.
Gotta throw a party for my day one. Might crash, might stretch, but first I stretch. Tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down that check.
Be sure to check out our partners Road Shop, baby. Use promo code LAW. Let's slow it down. Let's slow it down, baby. Yeah. Come on with it. All right. Yeah. Shout out to Sweet Beats. We are the ambassadors of Sweet Beat. Gluten-free. Made with real yellow beets. Be sure to check us out. Zero Hangover. Again. Yeah. Lean forward. What we tell them? Don't let the street lights get you all alone. It's dangerous.
You know it's dangerous to go alone.
And they understand the cost.
Don't let the street lights hit you.
There's 1,000. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. We all gonna be here. There's 1,000 of you tonight, and those that are watching, it's 1,000 that's watching online.
Come on.
This is a small seat. If I get 1,000 online this year, I'm challenging each of you all down here. Not everyone standing up here with us, with me, to plant a seed of 100,000. Because again, it costs the city. I got you.
All in one.
And this is what I need you to do. If you're giving electronically, bring that you give it. That's a brand new. Bring them back. Bring out the basket. Out here, see the folk. Y'all start with 1, 2, 3, 4. Y'all can bring it right now. Come. Even if you're giving tangibly, just put your hand on it. Take your phone, stick it on the
I be all player too. I follow wherever you go.
Giving is worship.
Giving is worship, baby. Player too. And remember, sounds of soft souls. Hits. N.O.D.
This is easy. This is an easy miracle. We should be able to raise $40,000.
40,000.
All I ask. That's it.
That's it. Until next time, DC for life. If you offended this episode, charge it to my beard, not my heart.
Fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on.
Peace. We out. Until next time. When the end comes for me, let it find me conquering a new mountain, not sliding down an old one. Jim Rowan.